Phil Foden has rapidly emerged as one of the most talented young players in world football. The Manchester City youth product is now a key first-team player under Pep Guardiola and is considered one of England's brightest prospects. Welcome back to Corner Flag! Foden has already achieved so much at a young age. Let's take an in-depth look at 10 things you probably didn't know about the Manchester City and England star Phil Foden. Number 1. Youngest Premier League winner. Despite only being 21 years old, Phil Foden has already won 5 Premier League titles with Manchester City. He made 5 appearances as a late substitute to earn a medal in City's 2017-18 triumph, before playing a bigger role in their last 2 title victories. The 2020-21 season was when Foden truly emerged as a first-team regular under Pep Guardiola. He made 28 league appearances, scoring 9 goals, to help City regain the title from Liverpool. Aged just 17 years and 350 days old when he won his first Premier League, Foden became the competition's youngest ever winner. He broke former City midfielder Micah Richards' record, who was 41 days older when he won the league in 2011-12. Foden also collected a winner's medal in 2018-19, taking his tally to 3 titles by the age of 21. If he maintains that title-winning ratio, he could one day rival Ryan Giggs' record of 13 Premier League triumphs. Number 2. His interesting nickname. Most footballers' nicknames are lazy abbreviations of their surnames, but Phil Foden has an odder-sounding moniker, Ronnie Roundhead. His grandmother called him Ronnie as a child because Foden's father is also named Phil. As Foden grew up playing football, the Roundhead part was added as a reference to his haircut. Foden's old school friends and family members still call him by the nickname Ronnie Roundhead. It's certainly more distinctive than the predictable Fodes or Photo that you might expect. Number 3. He's already a father. Most 21-year-olds aren't parents yet, but Phil Foden has already experienced fatherhood. He has been in a long-term relationship with Rebecca Cook since their school days, and the couple had their first child, Ronnie, in January 2019. Foden was playing an FA Cup match against Rotherham United when Rebecca went into labor. He went straight from the Etihad Stadium to be with her after the final whistle. Understandably, the new father was overwhelmed with emotion, but Foden didn't want to shed any tears in front of his watching family members. "I walked out of the room, gave it a little tear, then went back in like nothing had happened," he later said. Little Ronnie sometimes joins his dad on the pitch for post-match celebrations and kicks a ball around while the City players do their lap of honor. He is no doubt destined to follow in Foden's footsteps as a footballer. Number 4. Youngest English scorer in Champions League knockout tie. By the age of 21, Phil Foden has already etched his name into the Champions League history books not once but twice. Aged 17 years and 192 days, he became the youngest Englishman to start a Champions League match when he lined up versus Shakhtar Donetsk in December 2017. City lost that game 2-1, but Foden would go on to make more positive Champions League records. During Manchester City's sensational run to the quarterfinals in 2018-19, Foden came off the bench to score in a 7-0 demolition of Schalke. It made him the youngest ever English goal scorer in the knockout stages of the competition at 18 years and 288 days old. Number 5. His dad is a huge Manchester United fan. It's not uncommon for footballers to support a different team to their parents. But Phil Foden must endure some painful family banter whenever City lose, because his dad is a die-hard Manchester United fan. Foden grew up in the blue half of Manchester and joined City's academy aged just 6. His mum also follows the Sky Blues, but his father Philip Sr. has always had red allegiances due to his own playing days. In fact, Foden's grandfather Ronnie was also originally a United supporter. According to Phil, his performances in City's first team are slowly helping convert his dad and granddad though. Number 6. David Silva was his idol. Growing up, every talented teenage footballer needs a role model, and David Silva was the player a young Phil Foden aspired to be like. As a diminutive creative midfielder capable of unlocking defenses, he idolized his Spanish teammate. Foden has admitted to watching Silva closely in training, studying the 4-time Premier League winner's positioning, technique, and decision-making. Foden would even analyze clips of Silva on YouTube as a devoted student of the game. Breaking into Manchester City's first team to fill Silva's boots after his departure in 2020 seemed an impossible task. Yet Foden's ball carrying, passing range, and drifts into dangerous pockets of space mimic peak David Silva. Number 7. He was a City Mascot age 7. Long before he pulled on the sky blue shirt himself, little Phil Foden walked onto the Etihad pitch holding players' hands as a Manchester City mascot. Aged just 7, his mascot appearance coincided with City facing Sunderland in December 2007. Lining up before kickoff, Foden grinned from ear to ear, stood next to Bulgarian winger Martin Petrov rather than his preferred choice of defender Micah Richards. Photos from the day show Petrov towering over a beaming schoolboy Foden as they enter the arena to shaking hands. Just over 10 years later, he wasn't just leading elite footballers out, but playing alongside them too. Number 8. He was dubbed the Stockport Iniesta. Every exceptional talent inevitably gets labeled the next Lionel Messi, or something similarly hyperbolic. But Phil Foden's nickname growing up was both catchy and surprisingly accurate, the Stockport Iniesta. Journalists and youth team coaches alike drew early comparisons between Foden's playing style and former Barcelona legend Andres Iniesta. Like the World Cup winning Spaniard, he glides past opponents with fast feet and low center of gravity. As well as their similar silky playing attributes, both Iniesta and Foden are quiet family men off the pitch too. But while Iniesta hails from a small village in Albacete, Foden originates from the Manchester overspill town of Stockport. Number 9. He was present as a fan for Sergio Agueros' title clincher. Almost every Manchester City supporter old enough to remember can say exactly where they were on May 13, 2012. The day Sergio Aguero famously scored the 94th minute winner against QPR to snatch their first ever Premier League crown in unforgettable style. Among the delirious fans inside the Etihad Stadium that afternoon was an 11-year-old Phil Foden. He watched pitchside behind the goal as Aguero drilled home the most important goal in City's history. Looking back later, Foden pinpointed Aguero's iconic strike as his top highlight from his boyhood supporting days. At the time, he had no idea one day he'd be winning Premier Leagues himself alongside his Argentinian hero. "It's mad to think that I play with those players now," Foden reflected last year. Football truly does have an incredible way of coming full circle. Number 10. Pep Guardiola calls him the most talented he's ever seen. As a manager who has worked with global icons like Lionel Messi, Andres Iniesta, and Robert Lewandowski, Pep Guardiola doesn't dish out compliments lightly, but he has repeatedly described Phil Foden as the most naturally gifted footballer he has ever coached. Guardiola first clapped eyes on a 17-year-old Foden during Manchester City's preseason USA tour in 2017. His initial impression was so strong that the boss instantly phoned director of football Teziki Begiristain, insisting, "This player is something special." Since that summer, Foden's development under Guardiola's guidance has been rapid and remarkable. Do you think Foden has what it takes to one day be considered a Premier League legend? Let me know in the comments section. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Corner Flag for more videos related to player documentaries, tactical analyses, transfer talks,